You ever stop to consider if that seemingly harmless egg you prepare each morning could actually be diminishing your strength, your memory, and even your masculine vitality? For years, eggs were considered a dietary menace, blamed for triggering heart problems, elevating cholesterol, and damaging arteries. Then, almost overnight, they were hailed as a nutritional marvel. So, what's the real story? After the age of 60, when every food choice becomes critically important, is that daily egg a hidden danger or a valuable asset? I'm Dr. Harold Grant, and for over 3 decades, I've been a men's health advocate, dedicated to helping older men rediscover their vigor, stamina, and overall well-being through solid science, not fleeting fads. And I can tell you with certainty that when it comes to eggs, many men in your age group are either missing out on their benefits or using them in ways that could be detrimental. Because here's the surprising truth: that very same egg can fortify your muscles, sharpen your mind, and revive your self-assurance. Conversely, it could also heighten your risk of stroke, decrease your testosterone levels, and obstruct your critical blood vessels. The key lies in how many you consume, how you prepare them, and what other foods accompany them on your plate. The distinction may seem subtle, but its impact is significant. Over the next few moments, we'll explore the 9 genuine reasons why eggs can either enhance your manhood or undermine it. I'll guide you through the best cooking methods, smart food pairings, and a practical weekly plan to make eggs a powerful health ally after 60. And later, I'll reveal the single biggest mistake that transforms a beneficial egg into a silent threat. Let's get started. Because what you choose to eat in the morning can profoundly influence the person you become tomorrow. Before we delve deeper, if you're a man over 60 who's committed to maintaining your strength, mental acuity, and independence, I encourage you to subscribe and hit the notification bell, so you never miss out on health advice specifically tailored for you. And if this video provides you with a fresh perspective on eggs, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and let me know how I can better address your health needs and concerns in the future. Let's begin with what I believe is the most often ignored reason why men over 60 start to feel weaker, slower, and less steady on their feet: the gradual erosion of muscle mass. What many people fail to appreciate is that the humble egg, yes, that simple item in your refrigerator, can be one of your strongest defenses against this decline. First, let's discuss the muscle-building secret hidden within your morning egg. I've witnessed this all too often in my practice. Men in their late 60s or 70s who were once active and self-assured are now struggling to rise from a chair, navigate stairs, or carry groceries without feeling exhausted. This doesn't happen suddenly. It develops gradually, quietly, almost unnoticed. And most of them assume it's simply a consequence of aging. But what they're actually experiencing is sarcopenia, the natural yet preventable loss of muscle mass that begins to accelerate after 60. Here's the crucial detail that's often overlooked: you can lose up to 1% of your muscle mass each year if you don't actively counteract it. This may not seem like a significant amount, but it accumulates over time, leading to weakness, falls, slower recovery, and a loss of independence. But what if I told you that one of the most effective tools to combat this decline is already sitting in your refrigerator? A single egg contains 6 to 7 grams of high-quality complete protein. This means it provides all 9 essential amino acids that your body requires to maintain muscle but cannot produce on its own. Unlike red meat, it's easier to digest, lower in saturated fat, and gentler on aging kidneys. And it's quick to prepare, no need for elaborate cooking or complicated preparation. Furthermore, this protein not only benefits your legs and arms, but also supports your testosterone levels, stabilizes your blood sugar, improves insulin sensitivity, and even strengthens the muscles that regulate blood flow and performance in the bedroom. When you nourish your muscles, you're also nurturing your masculinity. And yet, protein is just the beginning. Within that same egg lies another often overlooked nutrient that 90% of older men are deficient in, a nutrient that safeguards your memory, sharpens your focus, and may even protect your brain from the effects of aging. Let's explore that next. Second, let's discuss choline, the brain-boosting nutrient that 90% of seniors lack. I still recall a patient of mine, James, 72, who came to me concerned about his increasing forgetfulness. He used to lead teams, manage projects, and remember everyone's birthdays. Now, he was misplacing his keys, losing track of conversations, and even forgetting the names of close friends. He feared it was the early onset of something more serious. But what surprised him most was that part of the solution was as simple as incorporating eggs into his diet. Inside every egg is a potent nutrient called choline. Most people haven't even heard of it, yet it plays a vital role in how our brains function, especially as we age. Choline assists your body in producing acetylcholine, a key neurotransmitter that supports memory, learning, focus, and muscle control. Without it, your brain simply can't communicate as effectively or clearly as it once did. The unsettling truth is that over 90% of Americans, particularly older adults, are deficient in choline. This includes men who otherwise believe they're eating a healthy diet. But here's the encouraging news: one large egg provides nearly 30% of your daily choline requirements. It's a simple, natural way to nourish your brain each morning without resorting to pills or powders. And there's more. Choline also aids in repairing brain cell membranes and reducing inflammation, two factors that are strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease and dementia. In fact, a long-term study revealed that older adults with higher choline intake exhibited sharper memory and less brain shrinkage over time. James began eating eggs regularly, not as a cure, but as a commitment to maintaining his cognitive health. Within weeks, he felt clearer, more alert, and more like his old self. But there's another nutrient in eggs that's equally beneficial, one that not only supports the brain but also enhances your vision and circulation in ways that most men don't expect. Let's delve into that next. Third, let's discuss eggs, eyes, and erections, the surprising vision connection. A few years ago, one of my older patients, Ron, jokingly mentioned that he couldn't read a restaurant menu without squinting or enjoy an intimate moment without worrying about his performance. What he didn't realize was that both issues, though seemingly unrelated, shared a common link: circulation. And one of the simplest foods that supports both is the egg. You see, within the yolk are two powerful antioxidants, lutein and zeaxanthin. Most people associate them with eye health, and for good reason. These nutrients help filter harmful blue light, reduce inflammation in the retina, and slow the progression of age-related vision loss, particularly macular degeneration. After 60, protecting your eyesight involves more than just glasses or magnifiers. It's about nourishing your eyes from within. But here's what many men don't realize: lutein and zeaxanthin aren't only concentrated in your eyes. They're also present in brain tissue and even in the male reproductive system, where they help combat inflammation and support microcirculation. This translates to improved blood flow, not just for clear vision but also for confident performance. Even better, the form of lutein found in eggs is far more bioavailable than what you'd obtain from spinach or kale. Thanks to the healthy fats in the yolk, your body can effectively absorb and utilize it. It's not about consuming more, it's about making smarter dietary choices. Ron began incorporating soft-boiled eggs into his meals several times a week. Not only did his eyes feel less strained, but he also noticed a renewed vitality in areas where he thought it was long gone. And while vision and circulation are crucial, another question lingers in the minds of many older men: what about cholesterol? Isn't that the real danger lurking in eggs? Well, the truth may come as a surprise, and it's time to set the record straight. Fourth, let's address the great cholesterol debate, separating myth from male health. I can't count the number of men who have entered my office over the years, filled with apprehension, whispering, "Doc, I still eat eggs, but please don't tell my cardiologist." Somewhere along the line, eggs became the villain, particularly for older men concerned about heart attacks and strokes. But here's the plain and simple truth: the cholesterol in eggs is not the culprit it's been portrayed to be. Each egg yolk contains approximately 185 to 200 milligrams of cholesterol. And for decades, we believed that dietary cholesterol directly elevated blood cholesterol. However, modern research has demonstrated that your body is far more sophisticated than that. When you consume cholesterol, your liver actually produces less, maintaining a balance similar to how a thermostat regulates temperature. For the vast majority of people, especially older men without pre-existing heart conditions, eating up to 1 egg per day is not only safe, but often beneficial. In fact, major studies, including those from Harvard and the British Medical Journal, have found no clear link between moderate egg consumption and an increased risk of heart disease or stroke. The real issue isn't the egg itself, but what accompanies it on the plate. A fried egg alongside bacon, white toast, and butter is essentially inflammation in disguise. But a poached egg with spinach, avocado, and whole grain toast is a heart-healthy meal. When one of my patients, a retired firefighter named Bill, made this simple change, his cholesterol levels didn't increase, they actually improved. More importantly, he felt less anxiety and more freedom at breakfast. So, no, eggs are not your enemy, but how you cook them and what you serve them with can significantly impact your health. And as we discuss heart health, there's another closely related aspect that most men overlook: your mood, your hormones, and the hidden nutrients that regulate them. Let's explore that next. Fifth, let's discuss vitamin D and B12, the mood and bedroom boosters. Not long ago, I spoke with a patient named Harold, 68, who shared something that resonated with me. He said, "Doc, I'm not exactly depressed, but I don't feel like myself anymore. I'm tired, irritable, and honestly, my wife notices it more than I do." It wasn't just his energy levels, it was his mood, his sleep, and his self-assurance as a man. And after some routine blood work, we identified two deficiencies that many older men fail to address: vitamin D and vitamin B12. These two nutrients may not receive as much attention as testosterone or cholesterol, but they play a crucial role in how you feel, think, and function. Vitamin D, often referred to as the sunshine vitamin, is not just about bone health. It helps regulate mood, supports your immune system, and plays a surprising role in testosterone production and blood flow. Meanwhile, vitamin B12 protects your nerves, facilitates brain communication, and maintains stable energy levels. Without sufficient B12, even your reflexes and focus can suffer. Worse, low levels can cause tingling, numbness, and depressive symptoms that many mistakenly attribute to simply growing older. This is where eggs come into play. One large egg provides approximately 10% of your daily B12 needs and a modest amount of vitamin D, particularly if you choose pasture-raised or enriched eggs. This may not seem like a substantial amount, but when incorporated into a well-rounded diet, it helps restore balance from within. Harold began eating 2 eggs a few times a week, nothing elaborate. Within a month, he told me, "Doc, I feel like someone flipped the switch back on." And yet, even the most nutritious egg can become problematic if you cook it improperly. The method you use could be either benefiting or silently harming your arteries. Let's examine that next. Sixth, let's discuss the cooking trap that turns eggs into a hidden risk. A patient of mine once remarked, "Doc, I eat eggs almost every morning, scrambled in butter with a side of bacon. That's healthy, right?" He had good intentions. He believed the eggs were doing his body good. But what he didn't realize was that the way he was preparing them was quietly working against him. And unfortunately, he's not alone. Many older men focus on the egg itself, when the real issue lies in the heat, the fat, and the foods we add to the plate alongside it. Here's the truth: when you fry eggs in butter or cook them over high heat, you're not just adding calories, you're creating something called oxidized cholesterol, the kind of cholesterol that damages blood vessels, causes inflammation, and contributes to plaque buildup. And if your eggs are accompanied by processed meats like bacon or sausage, you're exacerbating the problem with saturated fat and sodium, two of the biggest threats to male circulation and heart health. Now, consider the alternative: a soft-boiled egg or a poached egg, cooked gently in water, preserves the nutrients intact, including choline, lutein, and vitamin B. Scrambling them slowly in a bit of olive oil with vegetables like spinach or tomatoes not only protects your heart but also fuels your brain and testosterone production. One man I worked with made this change. He didn't alter what he ate, just how he cooked it. Weeks later, his blood pressure had decreased, his energy had increased, and his wife commented that he seemed lighter, more vibrant. The cooking method matters more than you might think. But there's another factor that most men never consider: the ingredients surrounding the egg. Some foods you eat with it will enhance your strength, while others will quietly diminish it. Let's break that down next. Seventh, let's discuss egg pairings that either help or hinder male performance. One morning, a man named George, 74, a retired mechanic and proud grandfather, told me he'd been eating eggs every day, hoping to feel stronger and more energized, but nothing had changed. "I thought I was doing everything right," he said. And on the surface, he was committed and consistent. But then I asked him what he was eating with the eggs. His answer: white toast, butter, sausage, and sometimes even a sugary cereal on the side. That's when I explained the aspect that few people discuss. It's not just the egg, it's the company it keeps. Because while the egg is packed with nutrients that support your brain, heart, and masculinity, pairing it with processed meats, refined carbohydrates, or fried sides transforms your plate into a battleground. Bacon and sausage, loaded with sodium and nitrates, trigger inflammation. White toast and sugary cereals cause spikes in blood sugar and subsequent energy crashes. Butter adds unnecessary saturated fat. The result is that you negate the very benefits you're trying to achieve. But when you flip the script, when you pair eggs with the right foods, you unlock their full potential. Imagine a poached egg on whole grain toast with sliced avocado, or a veggie scramble with spinach, tomatoes, and olive oil. Add some berries, a few almonds, or even a spoonful of Greek yogurt. These foods not only enhance the flavor but also boost blood flow, support hormone production, and stabilize your mood and energy. George made that change, and weeks later, he said something I'll never forget: "I didn't know food could make me feel this good." So, yes, your egg matters, but what's on your plate matters just as much. And now that we've covered the good, the bad, and the risky, it's time to make this practical. Let me guide you through a simple weekly egg plan designed specifically for men over 60. Eighth, let's discuss your weekly egg plan for vitality, performance, and longevity. I've found that most older men don't require extreme diets, they need clarity and consistency. That's why I often provide my patients with something straightforward: a weekly egg plan tailored to support male vitality after 60. And I want to share that same plan with you right now. No calorie counting, no complicated recipes, just a rhythm that works in harmony with your body, not against it. Start your week strong with 2 soft-boiled eggs on Monday morning, paired with sautéed spinach and half an avocado. This is your circulation starter, your nitric oxide booster, your testosterone nudge. On Wednesday, prepare a veggie scramble. Use 3 eggs, olive oil, bell peppers, and mushrooms. It's colorful, nourishing, and deeply satisfying. On Friday, opt for a poached egg over a slice of whole grain toast topped with sliced tomato and a drizzle of olive oil. This is your heart-friendly, brain-sharpening combination to head into the weekend feeling grounded. On the days in between, you can take a break from eggs but continue to consume quality protein. Consider some Greek yogurt, a protein smoothie with flax seeds, or even cottage cheese with berries. The key isn't just the egg itself, but how it integrates into a nourishing pattern. Over time, this rhythm reduces inflammation, supports hormone levels, strengthens arteries, and boosts your energy throughout the day. And here's the best part, many of the men who have followed this simple routine report more than just improved lab results. They sleep better, move more easily, and feel more confident in their own skin. One man told me, "Doc, I feel like I'm back in sync with myself." But there's still one final question to address, the one that most men don't even realize they should be asking. What does the latest science say about eggs and long-term disease risk, particularly cancer and prostate health? You need to hear this. Let's finish strong. Ninth, let's discuss what science truly says about eggs, cancer, and prostate health. Many older men I speak with are quietly concerned, not about cholesterol or calories, but about cancer, especially prostate cancer. And I understand their apprehension. There's been a barrage of conflicting headlines, some claiming eggs are dangerous, others asserting they're harmless. So, let me clarify the situation, not with fear, but with facts and perspective. Years ago, one small study suggested that men who consumed a large number of eggs, specifically 7 or more per week, might have a higher risk of prostate cancer progression. But here's what most articles failed to mention: the study didn't account for how the eggs were cooked, what they were eaten with, or the overall lifestyle of the participants. And it didn't establish causation, only a loose correlation. Since then, newer and larger studies have painted a clearer picture. When eggs are consumed as part of a balanced, whole food diet, particularly with vegetables, healthy fats, and fiber, they are not linked to a significant increase in cancer risk. In fact, nutrients in eggs like choline, selenium, and vitamin D may actually support healthy cell function and hormonal balance, which can protect prostate tissue when consumed in moderation. The bottom line is that eggs are not your enemy, but isolation, stress, inactivity, and processed foods are the silent threats that gradually erode your vitality over time. So, as we conclude, remember this: the egg is a tool. What matters is how you use it. Eat smart, cook gently, pair wisely, and listen to your body, your energy levels, your mood, and your masculine vitality. They're still within your control, and it's never too late to feel alive again.